Good morning. I am Gar from the BX. And for those of you who are new, BX stands for the Bronx. So what they say is that you can take Gar out of the Bronx, but you can't take the BX out of Gar. So welcome to the Hour of Power and GAR'S a cappella at the midnight hour. We're going to start with what we do each day. I think we've been going now for about a little over 2 weeks. So we'll start with our universal mantra. And before we do the universal mantra, we do a little, got that little ring. Everybody seems to like that ring. So here we go. Praise and inspire. Praise and inspire. Praise and forgive. Praise and compliment. And last but not least, praise and allow. Don't matter whether you're Christian or Jew, Muslim, Islamic, Buddhist, Hindu. This is a mantra of love, of mutual respect, of self-dignity. This mantra has no religious boundaries. And it's fun, makes you feel good. As I say each day, my job, my mission is to make you happy. We're doing this program with my organization called SaveALifeAday.org. SaveALifeAday.org. We're doing a heart promotion. It started on July 1st. Ends on September 30th. Putting the call out to my inner team. We have to put that template together. You have 48 hours. I'm very transparent. I say it to everybody out there, so everybody knows. You have 48 hours to put that template together. It must be finished by Monday night, so we can get it out to all the folks, the wonderful participants in this program. I've decided to do something, so here goes. I've decided to sweeten up the pot. I spoke to a couple of my rich friends, and believe it or not, there are rich people that put their hands in the pocket to help out the people that aren't so rich. And those happen to be my friends. And those are not the ones that are voting for Trump. So I have some rich friends who are not voting for Trump. However, I don't think they're voting for Hillary either right now. So we got a problem with that. That's a challenge. We'll work on that one. So we're doubling the pot. First place is $5,000. Second place is $5,000. Third place is $3,000. Fourth place is $3,000. Fifth place is 2,000 smackers. Sixth place is 2,000 smackers. Seventh place is 1,000 smackers or dollars. Eighth place is $1,000 smackers. And 10th place is $1,000. So you see, we now have gone from, we started this a week ago, we went from first 1 winner to 3 winners. Now we're going to have 10 winners. So you have an opportunity to go and win a minimum $1,000 in cash and as much as $10,000. All you have to do is be nice. Have a great attitude. That's this here. Attitude, thoughts. Speak respectfully. That's here. We do this mantra every day. Speak respectfully, talk rightly, and actions. Actions speak way louder than words. Actions, heart. That's what we call it, the heart promotion. Act each day from your spiritual heart. So that's what it is. Now, there's only one catch, is that so the total pot is $24,000. Now, we will do that as long as we have at least a minimum of 1,000 participants. I don't think that should be an issue. I don't think that should be a problem. You never know. So all I ask is that we need at least 1,000 participants. So we will let you know as a couple of weeks goes by, 2-3 weeks goes by, how many participants we have. I have 4,000 people on my friends list, so I'm going to assume that there'll be 1,000, but we never know. If there's not 1,000, it goes back to the old program. Okay? What else do we have here? In the last week, something very seminal happened to me, and that is that my producer, I've become a songwriter. I think that's what I call it. That's what some people call it. And so I cut my first 4 records. The first one is called "Save a Life a Day." It very, very well turned out to be our international anthem for Save a Life a Day. The second one is called Turn to Your Neighbor. Turn to your neighbor and give them a hug for you and for me. I love that one. I love it. Because I see it at Dodger Stadium. I see it at Shea Stadium. I see it at Yankee Stadium. I see it at the Rose Bowl. I see it at any stadium across the country, and there's a 7th inning stretch, and they say, you know what? You know what time it is, kids? It's time to do hug your neighbor. So you got a person standing next to you who's possibly a white supremacist. You got a black or a Latino person standing right next to them, and they go, dude, it's time to hug your neighbor. So turn to them and you hug your neighbor. And the guy goes, I ain't hugging this person. I'm a white supremacist. I don't like black people, Latino people. It's possible there's a lot of people in the United States that still have that bigotry and that hatred. And you know what happens? We give the orders to the guards, to the cops, say, if anybody doesn't hug their neighbor, throw them out. So he's got a choice. He can either watch the last 2 innings of the game and hug his neighbor, or gets thrown out of the stadium. It's very easy. I'm mellow, peaceful guy. I believe in civil disobedience, no violence. Okay, so and the last but not the least. I got that. I got Kumbaya. First time in 100 years, I have made an arrangement of Kumbaya. It's my favorite song. It's one of my 3 favorite songs, along with Amazing Grace, Let There Be Peace on Earth, and We Shall Overcome. So I went ahead and made a new arrangement, and I've copyrighted it the other day, and so that will be that's one of my first, and it's going to be on my album. It's called the Salad Series Salad album. And the thing is that the last one, last but not least, it's called I Am Sane Again. I am sane again. I think it applies to almost every one of us who have had relationship issues, marital issues, job issues, alcoholism issues, drug issues. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. For the first couple of days, I cried like a baby. Now I can handle it. So those are the songs, and so we're going to do a song today. Not doing any of those because I got to get them recorded with ASCAP or BMI. So just bear with me on that. Don't worry, you'll be the first though to hear them, because you're the first to hear the names. My producer's an unbelievable guy, Preston. What's your last name, Preston? And his wife is not only unbelievable, but she's beautiful, Gina. And I couldn't have done any of this without their inspiration and their technical prowess, know-how. So I'm going to do a love song, and I want to tell you who I believe are the greatest love songs of all time. We have I Will Always Love You by the incomparable and dearly departed Whitney. Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers. My Heart Will Go On by Celine. Celine, I'm going to sing on stage with you one of these days when my voice is good enough. If it's not in this lifetime, it'll be another. And The Greatest Love of All by the incomparable number 1, may she rest in peace, my favorite singer of all time, Whitney Houston. Next one is Your Song by Sir Elton. And My Gift is my song, and this one's for you. I'm dedicating this song that I'm going to sing now to, it's GAR'S song today. I'm going to change it. It's going to be called Daddy's Song. It's dedicated to my daughter, Brittany. Because I love you, Brittany, more than anything else in the whole wide world. And if you're listening, remember, I'm dedicating this to two ladies, actually. I want to talk about Brittany real quick. Brittany's the apple of my eye. If any of you out there has a daughter, father and daughter relationship is like none other. And remember, Brittany, when you told me that you love me? And you said, don't tell mommy, but that you said that you're more like daddy than mommy. Even though I know that mommy's your best friend in the whole wide world. And you were 8 years old at the time. And you and I were listening on the radio to a beautiful song by a beautiful singer. Her name is Judy Collins. And I was shocked. You loved it. I was 8-year-old. It was Judy Collins from the hippie day, from the 70s. And you couldn't pronounce her name. And so you called her Judy Collar. Judy Collar. So you and I have had that little secret all these years. And it's a very inside secret. It's very private. No one knows about it. It's our love mantra between just you and me, daddy and daughter. And whenever I call out that name, Judy Collar, you know that means I love you. I love you. That's just between you and me, honey. Nobody else. We won't tell anybody. It's our little secret. Okay? And I hope that you come back to me real soon. Once we get this divorce over with mommy. It's been 2 years now. I think it's time. It's finally a time. So my plea goes out to you, to your mommy. After jail and 5150s and mental hospitals and putting me wherever you can, anywhere I can go with police putting guns to my head, with arrests, with being put in jail cells, with people that have anger management issues. It was a mess. And you know something? I think it's time. And your lawyer, lawyers are the scourge of the country. They call lawyers snakes for a reason, because there's nobody lower in the country, in the world than a lawyer. It's a snake. So, I have to say that. Your lawyer, won't mention her name, we'll just say Mrs. Lawyer, because I don't want to be sued. But, she just has something. I've never heard of a lawyer that does more personal declarations against me. So I had to go into court 3 days ago. You weren't there, Sin, and she was there. She had a personal declaration. I even had the process server do a personal declaration against me. I've never heard of such a thing. This has become, I think, a personal vendetta between the other side, between your lawyer, maybe you. I don't know, but you know what? I want to ask you to, let's bury the hatchet. Just last thing, the other day I go into court and I'm standing there and the lawyer, she's got a major firm, she's in Los Angeles here, and she turns, and when I walk in, she goes, clear from the other side, she goes, aha! I go, what the F is that all? She knows she pushes my buttons, and she knows that I'm a kid from the Bronx still, and I was about to turn around and say, what the? You know what? I looked at the wall, I did my mantra, I took my deep breath, and I ignored her. So you know what she did? She did it again. She went, aha! I thought maybe she was having a throat problem, but she wasn't. It was about me. You know what, Mrs. Lawyer? You lawyers are snakes out there, and the divorce lawyers are the snakes of the snakes. So I don't know how much lower you can go, but I'd like to say that our country's in disarray. We have a depressive bipolar culture, and major reason for it is because of our justice system. Our justice system is gone to the dogs. And you know what? It doesn't have to. My friend is from South Africa. They don't have lawyers there. They do things on a handshake. I can't believe I'm in a divorce and you just split things 50-50 in the state of California, and we spent over $500,000 already. For what? For what? So that the lawyers get rich and they can go off to Hawaii with their families and feel no conscience. It's disgusting. It's horrible. It's an abomination. And you know something? Something has to be done. I hope you all agree with me. We have to get together. We have to mobilize as a people. By the people, for the people, of the people. By the people, of the people, for the people. Just like the most greatest idol of my whole life, President Abraham Lincoln, said in the Emancipation Proclamation. It's time. It's time we stop letting the lawyers run the country. We stop letting the lobbyists run the country. It's time we stop letting the big money, it's a matter of how much money you have. It's time. We don't need government to be run by a bunch of lawyers who are disingenuous and don't care about you, the people.